Sup, it's Hallie, and welcome once again to Afterimage. I was informed by the developer that they left a message in the files of this game that I wanted to check out. But when I looked there, I also found a bunch of text files that were in Chinese, and I unceremoniously plugged their text into Google Translate so I could read them. And I'm going to read them to you now, if that's alright with you. The first one is called Witnessing You Just Made the Jump. Witnessing you just made the jump. The worthless suffering is over. Close the sleepy eyes, close the loop screen. Those fates that can be remembered, toured automatically in my mind. Your little boat merges into the ocean and disappears. When you feel the light coming close, the darkness in your heart is gone. The meaning of all tried life stop in the eyes of living. All that fell from the midair of dreams, it's back in place now. This must be the only time in your life, standing taller than others. The rising sun is so beautiful. Goodbye, sun. Accompanying you to sleep is gentle lightning. The person who watched you fall and the world choked to pieces in silence. Right, that was that one. Second is, if so, don't be sad. If you must ask me about the little sun, like a moan in the wind, I can only tell you, that's just one of many that will never wake up again. That's just one of many that will never wake up again. If there is no need to sing the distant dawn, the paradise of CDs, I can only tell you, the most eye-catching and the most fucked up have turned into mountains. The most eye-catching and the most fucked up have turned into mountains. Her hands were so small, sometime before morning. The bow is red like fire and it turns into a colorful glow and dyes the sky. Who doesn't? Who has no secret hidden in her heart? Tell me the truth, asshole. Where did you slit your melancholy arm? Where are you tightening your heavy skin? Oh mother, who will tell your friend her lover? The unlucky little girl has a heart that is wetter than her eyes. Young friends, you will never meet again. Young friends, you will never meet again. Her hands were so small, sometime before morning. The bow is red like fire and it turns into a colorful glow and dyes the sky. Are you okay? How are you? How are you, dearest dead person? You give your eyes to the blue sky, and the tears at that time are dedicated to you. The flowers are red, the flowers are white. The dearest friend is the most helpless. Worrying words can't finish. You can't come back on the bridge of friendship. Number 3 is I love you. Lovers in the past are gone now. Take him away and give her to her. The distant mountains laugh at you and roll away. I will hold myself. Kiss you like yesterday. I'm going to raise a glass today. Drunk all the devils. About life, I was for you. I was sweating for you. Lover, gone today. Take her and give him to her. Distant mountains laugh at you. Roll away. I will hold myself. Like yesterday, kiss you. Today I come to toast, get drunk, all the devils. About life, I was for you. I was sweating for you. Okay. Fourth is, you must have heard. Dark clouds, densely covered, introverted face, the line not written in the foam. Why are you here today? Why am I here? The last time I saw you, like Johnny last saw Richard, never needs to remember, never forget. No one can find the door you gently opened. In our most beautiful shallots, day and night of fact, already tired. The past in the drizzle, long ladder in front of the literature department. Boy next to door in gray coat, suffocating Monday. 100 little secrets, hidden in such a dark poem. However, it finally failed, as it has been for many years. Today, in general, she's crazy. You tumble beside the enchanting blueprint. Transform yourself into a whole. Fake ghost circus. Flow past. Meteor flowing in front of her. Adult is a game that focuses on dressing up. You can't act if you want a face. If the gods remain silent, that's to adapt to the truth defeat on the steps that every generation must pass. We enter the office. Outside is imaginary. Thunder and lightning, summer night. Those unhappy smiles, those mindless vibrato. Those bedrooms where I've been so distraught. Long poem for you. Between the devil and the deep blue sea. White space between this line and the next line. Between the bitter man's clenched lips. Me and tomorrow. Lonely meet. I have no idea what any of that meant. Final one is late spring. Brother, your trip to the north today. Awareness of the fullness of life. Experience the sincerity of friendship. Experience the sincerity of friendship. Heroes on the social battlefield, in the midst of heavy artillery fire. Don't forget the peace of mind and body. Don't forget the peace of mind and body. Be brave and rest. Complete your great life. Brother, your trip to the north today. Awareness of the fullness of life. Experience the sincerity of friendship. Experience the sincerity of friendship. Heroes on the social battlefield. In the midst of heavy artillery fire. Don't forget the peace of mind and body. Don't forget the peace of mind and body. Be brave, then rest. Complete your great life. Be brave, then rest. Complete your great life. Be brave, then rest. Complete your great life. Alright. That was all 5 of the pseudo-poetry documents, I guess. But there was also something else. In the characters folder, I noticed there was a hali.cur, and when I turned it into hali.txt, it became a message. So here we go. Hello, I'm glad you have come this far. I will write down some of the thoughts that's been stuck in my head while making this mod. They will be lengthy, so you can skip this note if you don't want to read them, but I think a person who can find this can also be patient enough to listen to my ramble. Here, I want to thank you again for those who helped me along the way, those who listened to my poor English patiently and helped me no matter how stupid my question is. Creating a mod on my own and being a novice modder have brought a lot of difficulties to the development. Without this community's help, it is impossible for this mod to take shape. And I want to thank Picolora specifically. He's the one who talked me into making a mod on my own story. Back then, when I just finished writing the story, I didn't plan to make it into a mod because I knew there will be tons of difficulties and I didn't have the courage to start up a project. Talking with him has really brought me out of my shelter and made me to take the first step. I'm really happy that I can really see the end of this. Next, let's talk about the story of this mod. I'm sure you are somehow feeling confused right now because that's what I planned to do. My thought is that DLC has 2 cores, one for mental problems and one for meta problems. All the things in this mod are highly unified under this thought. I set the theme color to a blue-greenish one is because I consider Sayori a representative of mental problems, and Monica the representative of meta problems, so I mixed their character color together. And my whole art style is also designed specifically for this thought. The brushstrokes in my painting is indicating both Ghost Sayori's fading form and the lines of binary code running behind the screen. This idea came from the movie Matrix. It is a kind of glitch art, as you can see. All the brushstrokes' direction are vertical because vertical is a very definite thing. They don't have multiple directions and they are not curved, just like the world of binary, the world behind the screen. The story has 2 lines. On the outside, it is a story about Sayori and MC discussing the experience of hallucination, dreams, and memories. On the inside, it is a story trying to describe the feeling of Monica's epiphany. Start with the outside story. All the girls in the story were just MC's hallucination. He basically speaks with himself most of the time, and what not Yuri and Sayori said were merely the thoughts of his own. There's a psychology thing called protection mechanism. It's when people are hallucinating things, their brain will avoid those details that can disprove their thinking. In MC's case, his finding a reason to keep Sayori stay with her, more specifically finding Monica. But at the same time, he can't really find Monica because that will be the end of the story. So he just keeps searching and searching. Details are designed to support this idea, like when he talks with Natsuki, she mentioned about the Afterimage, but he immediately avoids talking into it and changes the topic. When he gets into the high school in the early morning, it's impossible to find the teacher who runs the club because classes have just begun. So in order to achieve his goal, the time just switched to sunset. When he needs to go to another college to search for Monica, Sayori stopped him because she don't want him to confront Monica. But like I said before, he needs to search for Monica. So he just force changed the scene to the college. But how do you fix that? We are on the way to the restaurant, so that's why things get very abrupt when he tries to switch back, because that college doesn't even exist, so his brain fails to explain things smoothly, and literally all the things in the story are surprisingly convenient. For example, Natsuki and Yuri's are in the same school, MC's mental state is getting lower and lower as the game progresses. You can notice that he can't touch Sayori at first, but later he somehow could wind her hair behind her ears. In the season, the time, the date on their online chat, all switching back and forth. When the 3 of them girls had finished talking online, the atmosphere is happy, so the season changed to summer. A lot of things don't make sense because they don't make sense, but MC's mind is avoiding those details and pretending nothing is wrong. The holes in his protection mechanism gets more and more, and eventually he can't hide the truth from himself anymore. As for the inside story, it is an attempt to describe Monika's feeling of the epiphany. You can't see Monika sprite throughout the whole game. You can see words talking about her, imaginations about her, chapter names quoted from her poems, but you just can't see her in person. And since Sayori and Monika are bonded together, I guess I meant bound, what MC feel about Sayori is also what Monika feel about the player, their mutual idealism. He can never really touch Sayori, just like Monika can never really touch the player. The ending scene is a quote from Monika's poem, Hole in Wall. It is not a real place or a real thing, just a feeling. Both MC's feeling of failing the protection mechanism and Monika's feeling about the binary world. If you feel the emptiness the end gives you, that means I somehow managed to reach my goal. MC's confused, Monika's confused, and so are we. Life won't just give us a clear answer directly. Everyone should have their own understandings, so I'm not giving a definite closure. What you feel and what you think is what exactly the story wants to give you. I don't feel like lecturing people, so this text will only be in the cur file, but I did point out a few directions of how to handle such problems using Mr. Dan and Yuri's perspective, maybe Natsuki even. I'll add the extra dialogue of 3 girls chat online later, it should point out more things. By the way, despite being a big Sayori fan, I think it's unreasonable to consider MC Sayori's lover. He's more of a brother to her than a lover, so that's why you can't see the word love in the whole story, not even a single one. But that's just my personal thinking, it is not the main topic. This mod has its regrets though, since I was merely on my own. I can't make a mod based off a long story, because it would be too hard to handle, and since I was bad at programming, I didn't spend much time on the coding features. I'm glad that I can use Wretched Team's code to make the online chat scenes. Their code made it possible for me to write 2 extra dialogues. They are hidden in the history of their chat. In case you don't know about that, you can scroll the chat screen up to see it. Oh, since this mod is about Sayori and MC, I didn't have the chance to write the dialogue between Natsuki and Yuri. In the original story, I just described their conversation using MC's inner monologue, but with this mobile phone program, I can actually write out all of their conversations. All the small things they mentioned later were all actually discussed before. That makes the whole story more promising. And I don't know if you noticed in the end credit, there was a Chinese song that hasn't been used before. It came from my favorite Chinese band. I set it as an alternate BGM for the end credit. You can access it by naming MC as Maka or Kidney. That Chinese line at the opening was from this song. I did try to translate it, but this song's beauty is beyond my ability, so I failed in the end. Here's a direct translation of its Chinese meaning. Your journey to the north this time, my brother, has made you understand what matters in life, what to enjoy and what to value. It's a beautiful tune, and since my story described a lot of things about the North, and in my opinion MC is like a big brother to Sayori, the lyric suits the story very well too. Thank you for reading. If those are all the thoughts I can manage to write down now, I hope we can meet again someday. So long. Battery. Okay, so I was correct in my belief that it was all in his head, and the inconsistencies were indeed due to, like, his mental state just not working out. But now I'm kind of curious to go back to those text situations and see if we can scroll to read more of them, because I was unaware of that functionality. I don't know if it's safe to skip for this, but it shouldn't sneak up on us exactly, because he has to find Natsuki first. I don't remember how far in it was though, but it seems like it's worth checking out, so why not? We'll just make a thing of it. I think they visit the school once before he gets in touch with Natsuki. Maybe I just like drop safety saves along the way too to make sure we don't miss it. Like right here. Here, we'll drop a safety save. I didn't have to save once the entire time when I first played it. Okay, there's the night, there's this, that. Okay, so they do go to the school first. Just being careful, don't mind me. Don't want to miss it. I know it's not until he's like back home. Something in his pocket. That's when he finds the notes. It should stop us when it gets to the note. Oh, no, it actually skips right through the note. I forgot it does that. Fog. How long was she asleep? Ah, yes, and then the Monika thing comes up. And he gets his motivation. What did Monika do? How far do I gotta go? I don't remember. I don't remember. I also don't know if the thing is going to stop the skip. This is the part I'm worried about. I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's just let skip go. Okay, it does skip to some degree. Stop, 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 stop. See, so it's still skipping. Curses. I can't even reload. No, stop. Stop, 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 stop. I think we managed to stop it. Okay. Yeah, you can scroll back through the text log. How interesting. How far back can I go? Oh, I think it's continuing to jump me down to the... Yeah. It's our ghost, I suppose. Come on now. And now we gotta wait for it to agonizingly crawl. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Though I wonder what Wretched Team needed this for, because I don't remember seeing it in Exit Music Redux. It's whatever. My only real beef with this thing is that the text is like white and tiny on these light-colored backgrounds. It makes it really hard to read. Although maybe it's less of a problem for people just playing the game normally, because like I sit a distance away from my laptop so that my voice doesn't come through too loud. And I actually usually read the game off of my big screen TV, which is behind the laptop. And I cannot read this text at that distance. Either of those distances kind of have to lean in for it. I can guarantee you that. So hold on, we haven't missed anything, right? Is this all stuff we've seen before? Wait, no, didn't he talk to Natsuki about something else for a really long time? That's what all this stuff is? Okay, yeah, hold on. Let's just go back to the top. Take it from the dang old top. Scroll, 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 scroll. Oh my goodness. They really did talk for a long time. Yep, 4 years.